theater finds people. I think I was called to do this. I started doing this in the backyard of my house on a dead-end street when I was a kid. I charged 3 pennies for people to come see what we were doing. I don't think I had a choice in the matter.
I had a great uncle who had a career lined out for me. By the time I was 21, I was going to be the first bass clarinetist in the New York Philharmonic Symphony. So I thought, well, I don't want to do that. I want to do something that's in the performing. I just tried everything and thought theater was the best place where you could pretty much do whatever you wanted in the service of telling the story. The Illusion Theater was founded in 1974. We have created between 400 and 500 new plays, and we have 11 that have been published.
Both of us studied in Europe, France, England, Germany. We saw other companies that were built there, and I felt like I wanted to tell American stories, and the theater canon didn't show my stories, the stories of my family, the stories of the Midwest, the stories of our skies. And I really felt like what we were doing was trying to create work that came out of here, came out of this place, came out of our lives, our families' lives. And that was missing. And as an American, I thought, this is what we gotta do. We gotta tell these stories.
I do remember we said, we want to do this work and we're committed to it and we'll stay here for 2 years, and if the audiences in the upper Midwest don't really like what we're doing or connect with us, we'll move to another place.
But this community was very welcoming.
That was not my experience in, other cities.
Or in Paris.
Well, no, they're 125 years old is still new.
Both of us came into this business through the civil rights movement, the women's rights movement, the gay rights movement, so there's a sense of activism that we've always had. We did Touch, about a language for sexual abuse prevention of children. We did Amazing Grace at the height of the AIDS crisis to teach people what were the myths about AIDS and HIV and what were the truths about it. We did Miss Evers' Boys about the legacy of the Tuskegee syphilis experiments. And theater is such a powerful way to bring stories into people's hearts.
Our first collaborative show together was about the pioneer story.
People wanted to hear this story of a German family coming across the ocean to become Minnesotans and what they struggled with. And here we are now, telling another family story.
She left the boat at Galveston and then on to New Orleans. Then Sophie headed north.
Right now, we're in the middle of rehearsals for a very personal project that is a musical about my grandmother and her journey from Russia in 1905 as a Jewish refugee escaping the pogroms.
We don't live in the old country.
Right, and it's fun.
And I think we should start the song right there, and it's fun.
I think he has a lot of courage to tell this story. I really do. The play is about Michael's grandmother, and the lead role is Michael himself. And if this were any other place, I'd think, God, you're full of yourself. and you aren't. I mean, in a way, it's the most egoless portrait.
Love to listen to Benny Goodman on the radio. She would sing. Grandma loved to sing. Grandma loved to dance.
Illusion Theater is here to illuminate the illusions, myths, and realities of our times, and to use theater to catalyze social and personal change. That's what we stand for, and that's what we try to do with our work, and that's what we feel we're accountable to with every piece that we produce here. There is this desire to strike a match, a torch, to light things up and let people see something that maybe they haven't put into words before, they maybe haven't even talked about.
So this is another scene that a student wrote from South, and this was an exchange student, and you're gonna hear about what happened.
This project at South High started 24 years ago, And it started with a group of artistic leaders wanting to do more for the high schoolers in our community. Who wouldn't want to take this class if you were a high school student? You spend about 6 to 8 weeks with me and you build a play. Then you go to Heart of the Beast and you build up something to be a part of the May Day parade. Then you go to Center for Book Arts and you make a book.
We were looking for a place to stay. We were new to America.
Vengan aquí, quédense conmigo.
This kind woman let us stay in her place for a while.
These kids' stories are as valuable as any story for anybody to hear. And for me to have them tell each other, and maybe it's the first time they've told that story. And I want them to see how art can really make a difference. It wakes people up to that we live in a wider world. It wakes people up to appreciate some of the struggles that some of the families have had. There is an empathy that happens. There is a change.
One student said, I thought that was the most beautiful thing, is she said, I didn't think I was creative. And what Bonnie taught me was that we are all creative.
One of the things I really admire about Michael is that he is really even. I haven't really seen him get angry, maybe 10 times in 40 years. Michael can do a lot of things at once, and he's totally nourished by having to switch from looking at our books to figuring out what the script is, to casting people, to figuring out how he wants to put things on stage. He does have, it seems like, a limitless reservoir of energy. I mean, there'll be nights that I'm just like, I can't do anything anymore. And Michael's going, come on, we've done this before, we'll get through this again. And it's like, we have done it before, haven't we? We will get through it. Right, but if you're here first,
Yeah, I'll be here.
I'll talk to you about how we should set the tables up, because what we did last time wasn't
just
so
go
good.
in the north corner where we've done
The
before.
south corner,
Is that south? Okay.
this side.
Yeah. Bonnie and I have sort of very distinct and separate areas that we work in the theater, but at any given moment we can enter each other's supposed area of expertise and contribute.
Nice, nice, nice. So who is this?
Bonnie's qualities, there's this kind of compassion that people notice right away, and there's this ability to bring the best out of everybody, and that's over and over again, even with the most difficult student we might have, or a staff person, or an artist. But underneath that, she's pretty tough. If you're given the opportunity and you don't deliver, you have to watch out. In early days, people would get a little freaked out about it because we're not afraid to passionately disagree and argue about things, and that's just not a normal Minnesota culture thing.
I think coming to this space, it's not like other theaters, and you go up in an elevator and you're watching the numbers go up 8 floors high. And we wanted, when you came off the elevator, to have it surprise you.
10 minutes. Thank you.
There is an intimacy to this house, and I think the house actually welcomes the work. A lot of the actors I know really feel like they're making an offering. It's an offering of their instrument and their talents, and they get to share it. And it means a lot to a performer to be able to have that happen. I think this is a space that really allows for that kind of sharing. You know, I never know when we start rehearsal on something where it's going to lead to. When it comes together, you are full of awe. You just sort of go, wow. In the course of our work together, we have made a difference. It just makes you want to come back here every day and do some more of it.
And sometimes you succeed and sometimes you don't, but you keep trying.
That's the truth.
There's always another show. One hopes.